So today we're going to be talking about color schemes. Color schemes are an arrangement of colors that is pleasing to the eye. One of our first set of color schemes is known as complementary colors. So to define this, complementary colors are colors that are directly opposite each other on the color wheel. So when I look at this, directly opposite of red is going to be green. Okay? Directly opposite of blue is going to be orange. A good way to do this is to actually take your pencil and set it down on your color wheel. And so long as it goes through the exact center of the wheel, you should be getting a correct complementary color set. You can also do the tertiary color, so like yellow, orange, and blue, violet would be a complementary color set. So I'm going to just write that definition right in here. So complementary colors are directly opposite from each other on the color wheel. Okay, then we have a couple boxes here for examples. I'm just going to stick with the really simple ones, which include like red and green, blue and orange, and violet and yellow. You might also notice that it's always like a primary combined with a secondary color. If you want to remember that, but obviously if you're going to do tertiary colors, then that rule wouldn't really apply, right? So you can kind of decide your little catchphrase reminder, whatever you'd like to do. But before I start, I'm just going to make little notations. So I'm going to put an R and a G for red and green. Okay, we said blue and orange, so B and O. Okay, and then our last one is yellow and violet. So I'm going to put a Y and V. And now I'm going to go through and actually color it. So again, I'm practicing my good coloring skills. And the really cool thing about complementary colors is they're meant to create contrast with each other. So, you know, we think about red and green, like those are our Christmas colors. They're chosen because they, one, look nice together, but they also create visual interest because they're contrasting colors. One's kind of bright and one's kind of more of a muted, cool color, right? Same thing with like blue and orange. I mean, we think of maybe the Broncos or the Bears. Those are football team colors, and they choose those colors so that they stand out. Okay, so those are my complementary color sets. Again, complementary color means that it's directly opposite from each other on the color wheel. So there's many other options besides just those ones, okay? I'm going to move us along. We're going to kind of skip past the value and the monochromatic. We're going to come back to that tomorrow. And we're going to move down to analogous colors. Okay. Analogous colors are colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. So I want you to underline are next to each other. Okay, so that's kind of your key terms. Complementaries are directly opposite. Analogous are next to each other. So in our little, what are some examples here? Analogous colors comes in groups of 3, and the order is important. So if I said red, I could say red, red, orange, and orange, but it wouldn't necessarily feel correct if you were having a conversation with someone to say like red, and orange are all analogous colors. So generally you say them in order of each other. So you can choose what color combinations you want to do. I might do like a red, red, orange, and orange, maybe a yellow, yellow, green, and green, and then maybe a blue, blue, violet, and violet. Okay, so when I come down here to my little triangles, I'm going to start with my red ones. And to save a little bit of time, I can actually fill in 2 of these spaces with red, because one of them is going to be red, the next one's going to be red, orange. I'll layer my orange over the top. And then my last color is going to be orange. Okay, that's one set. If it helps you out, you can label it again. So I could put R, R-O, and O. Okay, I'll just do it for one of these examples. Okay. Then I'm going to move, as I said, to yellow. So I can just start off by filling in 2 of these spaces with yellow. Okay, and then I'm going to fill in the other 2 spaces with green. So I have like a yellow-green as the mixture, and green is a separate. Okay. And my last one, I'm going to do blue. You'll notice when I started coloring, I always started with a primary color. Again, I just think that's good practice for our brains to go back to those 3 colors. Okay. And then I'm going to use blue, violet, and violet as my last color combination. And you are welcome to start with tertiary colors. You could do like blue, violet, violet, red, violet, but just to keep it simple, starting with a primary or secondary color works best. Okay, and that's where we're going to stop our notes on this page for today. We're going to cover the rest of the notes tomorrow in our activity. So we can get ready to clean up by putting our colored pencils back in the baggie and leaving them on your desk nice and neat.